Hi guys. Okay, so now we're going to go through the ROF walkthrough with you. Ken graciously volunteered to be the ROF patient today, so I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to help me out with this short little video. We're going to walk you through an actual report of findings that I go through with a potential patient. I didn't want to use a real patient because of HIPAA compliance, and so Ken has volunteered to become a non-real patient today and offer up his services for the sake of this training and this video. All right. So we're just going to set it up like Ken has just came in for his report of findings. So he came in for his first visit already, and he had his first visit. I did all the diagnostic and intake information, and then now he is coming back for his report of findings. So here we go. Welcome back, Ken.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Glad that you're coming back here. How was your last visit? How did you feel?
Felt pretty good. I wasn't expecting to have some results that I did experience, which was great. So it was a relaxing experience, and I enjoyed it. So I had never had acupuncture before, and first time, and it was not as bad as I thought.
Good, good, excellent. Well, that's nice because a lot of people are really surprised at some of the subtleties of acupuncture, and they're also surprised that it isn't as painful or as difficult for them that first time. A lot of people come in with some objections about it being painful or that it doesn't work, and I'm really glad that you experienced something from that.
Right.
So today we're going to go through this report of findings for you. Sure. So what I did is after the first visit when you came in, I took all that information that I gathered from you and I put together this unique report of findings. And this report of findings literally tells you what I found, what's wrong, how long it's going to take, how I can help you, and how much it's going to cost.
Okay.
Okay. So a couple of things. One thing before we start. I want to let you know that as I talk about the different organ systems and the different meridian systems of the body, it's important for you to know that I'm not talking in terms of Western medicine, okay? Like if I talk about your heart or your spleen or your liver or your kidneys, I'm talking about them in terms of the way I was trained and the way I was schooled to work, in the way I was taught. Okay, sure. So it doesn't mean that you need to run out there and get a second opinion or that you need an MRI or some type of a scan or something like that. Right. It means that what I'm going to be sharing with you, this information is strictly about the way an acupuncturist views the health of the body and the function of the body according to the way that I was trained. Okay. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, good. What we're going to do is we're going to jump right in here. So I just wanted to bring you this. This is the report. I'm going to give you a copy of this to take home and share with your family or friends or whoever it is that you feel comfortable sharing this with. Right. So that plants the seed for Ken to share this information with people that he trusts and knows who might be interested in possibly following up with some care as well. So I checked your pulse, I did the tongue, and I did some muscle testing with you.
Right.
Okay. And so your main health concerns were you have back pain, headaches, and insomnia. Right. Okay. So those are the main things that you talked about, that we talked about on your health form, and that really showed up. You had a bunch of other things going on, but these are your main health concerns. Okay. Yeah. And when we check, we check your pulse, your tongue, and your muscle testing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and highlight them in different colors so you sort of see a pattern that's forming, okay? Sure. So when we checked your pulse, there was an imbalance going on with the spleen, okay? There was also an imbalance going on with the liver, and there's also one going on with the heart, okay? So those are the three main meridian systems that were showing up. If you remember, I checked for 12 different pulse locations in your wrist, 6 on each side, right? Remember that? Because I think you asked me about that.
Yeah, I never knew there was more than one.
Right. Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about acupuncture, that there's so much depth beyond just the surface, in a sense.
Right.
And most people just assume we just have one pulse, but we have 6 in each wrist at different depths.
Okay.
So when I checked your pulses, those were the 3 that showed up to be most out of balance for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There were others that showed up out of balance, but those were the 3 that were most prominent that came to surface. Okay? When I looked at your tongue, and I know that you were surprised to look at your tongue, but one of the things that you told me was that one of the things that I asked you was that, have you ever noticed that when you get sick, that your tongue changes color and changes shape? And
Right.
you agreed with the fact that it does.
Yeah, right.
And you were kind of surprised. I'm often surprised how many people actually acknowledge that as well.
Yeah.
Because our tongue is a reflection of our internal health. It's a barometer as to what's going on inside of us. Okay. So when there are imbalances going on inside, it usually reflects on the surface of the tongue, the shape of the tongue, facts on the tongue, coating of the tongue, and things like that.
Right.
So when I checked the tongue, the areas that showed up for you were the heart, the spleen, and the kidneys. Okay. So those were the 3 main ones that are showing up for you there.
Right.
All right. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, good. Good. When I checked the muscle testing with you, and we checked to see the weakness, and then we strengthened some areas to see what kind of things changed. Mm-hmm. The things that showed up there was the spleen. Okay. The liver showed up for you. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the kidney showed up, and the bladder showed up. Okay.
They're the same.
Yeah. Those are connecting meridian systems. So what I want to do is I want to bring your attention to this. So if you see there's I color code things so you could visually see the representation going on. So if you see here, there's yellow going on in each of the different diagnostic procedures that we did. There's red going on, and there's a little bit of blue going on there. So if you look here, this little chart on the side over here, you see there's some yellow here. This is the yellow band, red band, blue band. If you look, most of your symptoms and signs are in this organ system over here, okay? So I'm going to go through these different organ systems here. What I did is I went through and I checked off all of the different symptoms and signs that you mentioned in your intake form and that we talked about. Right. So I'm not going to go through all of them because it's really lengthy. You can look at this and talk about it with your family when you're home. Mm-hmm. But if you notice, all your symptoms and signs are checked off here, okay? When we checked out the symptoms here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 symptoms and signs here, 8, 9, 10, 11, okay? Because these are added on there as well, okay? So you have 11 imbalances going on that relate to this meridian system, okay? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the heart, small intestine meridian, 6, 7 going on in that meridian system right there. Right. Over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going on in this liver meridian system over here. Right. Over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going on in this system over here. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay?
Okay. That's lung and large.
Lung and large intestine. Okay. So clearly this one and this one are showing up most out of balance for you. Okay. The spleen and stomach meridian and the heart and small intestine meridian, and then runners up are the other ones there. Okay. So I'm going to add all these up for you. So we have 18 and 28 and 28 and 32. Okay. 32. That number is your overall health score. Okay. So these are all the different symptoms and signs related to all the imbalances that are showing up for you that I was able to pick up. Right. Your overall health score is a 32. My goal is to get this as low as possible to a 20 or a 12 or 5 or a 0, which probably won't happen because we always have something going on. So my goal is to get this as low for you as possible. Okay. And I'm sure that's your goal too, right? I mean, you're here to get relief and to get out of pain quickly, especially with, the headaches that you're experiencing. So your healthcare goal is 32. My goal is to get that as low as possible for you. And now let me just show you this over here. So if you notice this little box over here where it says chi flow within the body, The main meridian that's out of balance for you is the spleen and the stomach and the small intestine. Okay, so when there's an imbalance going on in this meridian, it usually creates a blockage of energy here, which affects everything else downstream. Okay, so when there's a blockage going on in the spleen stomach meridian, everything downstream from that, which happens to be the heart and the small intestine, showing up over here. Kidney and bladder showing up over here, symptoms and signs going up over here.
Right.
So imbalances in this meridian system are leading to imbalances in the other organ systems in the body.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, so they're all connected in a way.
They're all connected, yeah. So the energy flows, I probably told you this in the first visit. So the energy flows in the body in one complete in one complete and whole way. So it flows from your feet up to your head, connects with another meridian, flows down to your feet, connects with another meridian, flows up again, connects with another meridian, and flows back and down to your arms and back up and everything. So it's like this whole complete cycle. If you were to take all the meridians and just lay them out flat, it would just be a big circle. Okay, just continually just flowing and flowing. But the way the meridians flow in the body is it flows over the arms and the elbows and the necks and the back. And if you see this drawing over here, all these lines are the different meridian systems.
Right.
You've got pain going on in the shoulder here. You've got pain going on in the back over here, and your headaches are painful over here.
Right.
The heart and small intestine meridian goes across that shoulder blade. The heart and small intestine meridian and the bladder meridian are related in the fact that they can cause pain in the back.
Okay.
Your headaches are more centrally related to the bladder meridian, which comes across to the center of the head right here. Okay, so those are also these are the different meridian systems that are involved. This is the way the energy flows in the body. Right. Okay, so does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does actually. Seeing it visually, this is how I learn, so this is great to actually visualize.
Good. Yeah. Every patient is different. Some patients really are very visual, more tactile, and more comprehensive learners. So just take a look over here. This is the picture of the tongue. These are the different areas that were in balance for you. You had a big crack in your tongue that went right from the center to the tip. In the middle over there, that spleen area right here, you had a thick white tongue coating. And then also there's some tooth marks on the edges over here, and some a little purpling action going on the side of your tongue there. Those again all reflect back to what we found here.
Right.
Okay. All right. So this is what we found. This is what's wrong. These are the different areas that are out of balance for you.
Right.
Okay. So right now, what I'm going to do is I want to go over how long it's going to take and what you can expect and how much it's going to cost. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. So now we're on to the care plan and the financial policy. So initially, Ken, you came in here because you wanted to get out of pain quickly. Right? Yeah. You're like, I've got headaches, I have back pain, I don't sleep well. Yeah. And, you know, that stinks for you because that's what your experience is, but it's good for me because I've helped a lot of people over the years with those exact things that you've been experiencing, okay? Right. So you're in good hands here at the clinic because, you know, I've been practicing since '98 and have been able to help people with those exact things that have been going on with you. Right. In this initial stage of care, there's 3 different stages of care that I work on for people, okay? And guys, this is where I begin to plant the seeds for long-term wellness care with the stages of care. So listen carefully for this, and we'll be planting some seeds, okay? So Ken, so when you initially came here, you came here because you were uncomfortable and wanted to get out of pain quickly. And most patients come to see me for that exact thing. They're not feeling comfortable in their body, they hurt, they want to get out of relief. And this phase of care that you're initially in right now is called relief care, okay? And in relief care, I want to help you get out of pain quickly. I want to help you be able to go swimming like you mentioned in the intake floor. I want to help you to be able to, you know, play with your dogs and run around with your dogs without, you know, getting tired and without having your back hurt. Yeah. So those are all the goals that you mentioned you want to achieve here, and I want to help you achieve those. And part of that is starting you off in this phase of care called relief care, okay? And in relief care, what I do is I see people more regularly initially because my goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible, right? You want to get out of pain as quickly as possible. You want to get back to the things that you want to do as quickly as possible too, right?
Right.
Okay. That's my goal too, to get you back to feeling better as fast as possible. And in this phase of care, I usually see people once a week for the first 8 weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Okay. I don't want to see you. I have to. I don't want to see you for life. Okay. I don't. I'd love to see you. I would love to see you for life, but the kind of care that I offer for you isn't the kind of care that I need to see you every day for the rest of your life.
Right.
I want to get you to the place where you're experiencing your life, you're loving your life, and that I want to get in that place of health and wellness where I see you once in a while for tune-ups, okay?
Right. Okay.
And I'll explain that a little further on as we go on. Sure. But in this phase of relief care, what I do is I see people once a week for the first 8 weeks, and each visit builds upon the previous visit, okay? Mm-hmm. So this is important. So, like last week's visit builds upon today's visit. Today's visit builds upon next week's visit. Next week's visit builds upon the following week's visit. So it's important to keep your visits, okay? Because we're working in a specific way to achieve specific results. And in order to optimize that as quickly as possible for you, I want you to keep the treatments and that we've scheduled out for you. Sure. So that's a really good way, guys, to get across to your patients that it's important to keep their scheduled appointments with you. Because, if you're scheduling 8 appointments with them, they're like, great, 8 appointments, sure. But when you let them know that each visit builds upon the previous visit, it sort of lays that foundation that wow, this is important to keep my visits with you, okay? So initially, what we'll do is we'll get you to come in. I'll work with you once a week for the next 8 weeks. And then what we're going to do is we're going to reevaluate, okay? My goal for you, and this is the seed planting wellness conversation right here. My goal for you is to get you from relief care all the way down here to wellness and health, right? Okay? And in relief care, you're obviously in pain. You're obviously feeling uncomfortable. But in this phase of care down here, you're feeling great. You're achieving the things that you want to do. You're not having to stop from playing with your pets or stop from swimming or whatever it is because you're feeling uncomfortable in your body. My goal, and I'm honest with you about this, is to help you achieve optimal health through long-term care by coming in maybe once a quarter, maybe every 6 weeks, maybe every 2 months, whatever it is. But once we get over this hump of you're uncomfortable, then we get to this phase of care called corrective care, which is we've achieved a certain number of results, and after we achieve, we've given you the relief that you want. Okay, after you've gotten the relief that you want, now we're in this new phase of care called corrective care. And corrective care is, well, let's support all the changes that we made so far. Let's keep correcting that. Let's keep moving in the direction towards health and wellness, okay? And then after corrective care, you're feeling better. You're feeling more balanced, but you're still, you might still have a couple of imbalances going on in your body. But the goal is to ultimately get you to that place where you're feeling great, you're feeling really balanced. And that is the goal of maintenance and wellness care. Okay. So that's the goal. I want to see you once a week for the next 8 weeks. My goals are to alleviate back pain and headaches, and these are the different acupuncture points I'm going to be using with you. And I'm also going to be teaching you some self-care techniques that you can use for yourself at home, especially to help you go to sleep at night. Okay. So these are different points we'll be using. These are my recommendations. I'm going to be doing some recommendations of nutrition for you. Okay, we're going to do some meridian exercises for you as well. Okay, and I'm going to also teach you some self-care education, which are some specific acupressure techniques and breathing techniques to help you relax at night, to help you sleep a little more deeply and a little more soundly. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I understand. I've suffered from insomnia as well, and I know that acupuncture is something that can really help. you know, when I have those difficult times at sleep, I know those special magical points that I can rub and those things that I can do that I want to share with you that really help. Okay, great. So I want to bring you to this this right here. This is the date of reevaluation. Okay, so like I said, I don't want, you know, I want to see you for life, but I don't want to see you every week for the rest of your life. Okay, I want to see you every week. Right. I mean, I like you. You might like me, but still, you know, my goal is to get, you know, to give you the life that you want. Okay. So after 8 weeks, we're going to come back and we're going to reevaluate. Okay, we're going to see where you were, which is where you are now, to where you will be in 2 months from now. Okay. My goal is that this number here, 32, gets a lot lower, like I was saying. Right. Okay, and we'll know that because when we do the reevaluation, we'll come back and we'll be like, oh, there's only 6 things here, and 4 things here, and 2 here, 2 here, and 1 here, or whatever it is. However it changes. Okay, and that's a really exciting time because you actually will notice that things have fallen off that you don't even remember until we come back here. Right, and then we see it on paper, and it's like, you're like, oh, my knee pain, right, it's gone. Oh, my allergies, gosh, they're 80% better. Right. So that's always really exciting for me, is to show people like what's changed. Right. Because we often forget what's changed as we start feeling better. Okay. So I really love the reevaluation because it shows us where we were, where we are, and it lets you realize how much progress you have made during the time together. Right. Okay. Very good. So we'll be doing that in 8 weeks from now. So the financial policy, unfortunately, you don't qualify for insurance. Okay. So what we're going to do is I have a special healthcare investment price that I'm going to talk with you about. Initially, if we're going to work with you for 8 visits, it's $75 a visit, like $600. I'm going to do 1 reevaluation that's $125. 4 different types of cupping and wash out with you at $15 each. 4 different types of heat therapy, it's $15 each. And 2 herbal prescriptions at $15 each. Your total health investment is $875. Okay? Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. Here's what we could do is we can divide that up for you. We have a monthly plan, we have a prepayment plan, and a time of service plan. With the monthly plan, we can decide that that you'll be paying $225 or $400, whatever it is, whatever the amount is that we determine that you'll be paying for per month until the debt is paid off. Right. Okay. Our prepayment plan is what most patients really choose, because what I can do with the prepayment plan is give you about a 10-20% discount. Okay. So the idea is that you would come up with a payment. You'd pay $875. We give you about a 10% discount on that. You know, since I did say 10 or 20%, I'd probably give them a 20% discount. So
I'll take the 20%.
Yeah, we'll give them a 20. I can't tell them that I gave, you know, we give 10 or 20% and only give them 10%. So 10, we'll give you a 20% discount on that right there. So your total health investment will be $160 less than that. So it'll be $125, $725. Is that the payment plan that you would want to choose?
Yes, I would go with that.
Okay, good. So I'm going to mark that off over here. I'll fill this in over here. And we're going to get you down to $875 minus the 20%. So we're at that right over here. Okay. All right. So what we'll do is we'll do a one-time payment for you today. Okay. And I'll have you just sign this and date that right over there. Okay, I will do the same. Good. All right, so I am going to give this to you. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll bring you out there and we'll set you up. We'll schedule for all 8 visits, okay? And it's important to schedule all 8 visits because one, it locks those times in for you, right? So you know every week for the next 8 weeks that this time and this day is specifically for you, which is great because you don't have to think about it anymore. your phone just dings you for the next 8 weeks or whatever it is. Okay, and then we know that we get to see you and look forward to seeing you every 8 weeks, once a week for the next 8 weeks at that time as well. So let's go ahead and get you scheduled for that whole time, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a copy of this to go home with. This is for you. That's for you. I also have a folder of other information in there with you that I'm going to go over with you as well. In there is an acupuncture nutshell booklet and a couple brochures that I would like for you to read between now and the next time we get together. Okay?
That's great.
Any questions for me?
I don't think so. I think I'm good. I understand everything is very clear. As I said earlier, I'm a visual guy, so this really helps me out, and I'll talk to my family about it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so that was pretty much it. I mean, that the report of findings is pretty straightforward and pretty simple once you get it dialed in. And I mean, Ken, being a potential patient, do you feel like you really want to get a report of findings?
Yeah, I mean, this is interesting. I think I should do this.
Right.
Because it's interesting to find out what my number is.
Right,
and
right.
If we can get it to drop.
What your health score numbers are.
Right.
Not only that, to see where those imbalances are.
Right.
And also to literally have a challenge, just be like, wow, we're at 32 now, let's get that number down.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And then seeing that progress in 8 weeks is great.
Okay, good. All right, so that is it for the live portion. And what I'm going to do now is go back and take some questions from the webinar. All right, see you in a second.